Hi, Will Andrews, Director of Training here at Wilshire Gun in Oklahoma City. Another episode of This Gun Has a Story. This should probably be an embarrassing story. I've brought two of my retired match guns. This is a story about addiction. So we're going to start with this one, even though I think chronologically it's the wrong order, but we're going to start with this. Back in December of, I believe it was 2000, dude walks up to me one evening. He has a brand new, really nice quality 1911 barrel, still sealed in the plastic. It's a Clark Custom ramped barrel. It's 6 inches long, and it's chambered for 40 Smith & Wesson. He holds the barrel up, asks if I will buy it from him so he could get his little girl something for Christmas. And I told him I didn't have, gun money that week. And he says, come on, man, give me $20 for it. So I gave him $20 for the 40 barrel, knowing that I don't shoot 40. I have no interest in 40. But come on, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. It's a great barrel. I gave him $20 for it. And I was thinking the next month's match I went to, I would find somebody who needed the barrel. I'd sell it to them for 25. They'd be happy. I'd be happy. Some little girl got Christmas. Everybody wins, right? So I carried this barrel home, I put it on my dresser, waiting for the next match, and every morning I'd get up and I'd look at it and I'd say to myself, you're only a barrel reamer away from a 10 millimeter barrel, and that's what I really wanted. So I dug through the parts bin. I had a barrel that only needed a chamber reamer, and I had this rear sight. Well, a barrel and a rear sight is obviously enough parts to start a pistol project, correct? So $1,500 later, parts only, no labor, no finish, I had all of these parts. And then the labor and the finish money started. It's a Caspian frame and slide. I don't know if they still do it, but in the very late 90s, very early 2000s, if you would call Caspian and offer them enough extra money, they would mark the slide in any manner you chose. And they would put any serial number on it you chose, so long as they hadn't used the serial number before. Well, being a Wile E. Coyote fan, my serial number is Acme 01, and the slide is plainly marked Blast-O-Matic. So this became a collaborative build. I took the parts first to actually a local dentist, Dr. Barry Grayson, great guy, dear friend, and I left it with Barry. Barry hand-cut the checkering for me. Barry fit the frame and the slide, and Barry put the trigger job in it. Then we took it to Chris Versells. Chris fit the barrel. Chris went in, and just for simple cosmetic purposes, he bordered all the checkering Barry did in machine stippling, and I believe Chris blued it for me the first time. I built this pistol specifically for the Single Stack Classic match, because at Single Stack Classic, they score major minor power factor, and the magazines must fit flush with the grip frame, no extended magazines allowed. I figured out that if I shot 10 millimeter there, I would have 1 round advantage of capacity over all the 45 guys, and I would still score major power factor, so my goal in building this was a competitive Single Stack Classic gun. Of course, just before the pistol was completed, the new rule book came out, and if you're going to shoot major power factor, you only get to put 8 rounds in a magazine. My competitive advantage was done before I even got started. But that year I thought I was an IDPA shooter. I did shoot the qualification course with this pistol in Enhanced Service Pistol Division, and did score Master Class. That was one of my 3 Master Class divisions in IDPA, was shot with this pistol. If there's a fun story about this gun at all, is the spring after I built it, I was in Las Vegas attending the SHOT Show, the Shooting, Hunting, Outdoor Trade Show, the big convention of the industry, and I walked into the Caspian booth. Remember, Caspian provided this frame and slide and took lots of extra money for custom slide markings and serial number. I just walk into the booth and mill around a little bit and chat with one of the ladies there. And finally I get around to asking her, so I understand you guys do custom slide markings on request. And she laughed and said, oh yeah, we do. You should see some of the silly stuff we've sent to Oklahoma. Really? Well, what's some of the silly stuff you've sent to Oklahoma? And she says, just a few months ago, I shipped one to Oklahoma that was marked Blastomatic. And I said, yeah, that one's mine. So, continuing the subject of 1911 addictions, just before the Blastomatic was built, I was sitting in a match one afternoon, complaining to another competitor that as my eyes deteriorated, I thought I needed more sight radius. And I told him I was thinking of trying a 6-inch 1911 instead of the traditional 5-inch. And all the guys at the match huddled around me. They told me I'd never be able to make a 6-inch gun run reliably enough for IPSC, and that they don't run particularly well, and I wouldn't like the recoil impulse, and it was just a bad idea. I wouldn't like it. I shouldn't do it. Well, unfortunately, if you ever want to see me do something, tell me I shouldn't or I can't. The project began. Lots of money mailed off to Caspian again. Got a standard government model frame, ordered a 6-inch slide, which in the late 90s was actually pretty exotic. Nobody was running 6-inch 1911s in those days. Called John Nowlin of Claremore, Oklahoma, had him cut me a 6-inch barrel. And all the parts went off to my dentist friend, Barry Grayson, and he started putting this thing together for me. Again, 6-inch 1911s weren't really a thing then. There were a lot of parts of this gun that simply didn't exist commercially and had to be fabricated specifically for the project. It got really expensive. It took a long time. And when it was finally done and up and running, Barry suggested that the pistol really needed to be in hard chrome because he thought it was a pretty pistol and it deserved to be shiny. Well, as long as Barry's spending my money, he gets anything he wants, so it got sent off and now it's hard chrome. The pistol does shoot well. It's finicky. It's finicky about ammo and magazines and weather and the phase of the moon, the barometric pressure, and I believe even my cholesterol levels. What I'm trying to say is this pistol is just a bratty prima donna. When she runs, holy smoke, she runs beautifully. And when she doesn't run, simply she doesn't run at all. But this is the pistol that went to USPSA Limited 10 Nationals with me way back in 2001. And I don't remember exactly, it's been a lot of years, but I finished 12th or 13th at the Nationals with this gun, so I have a real emotional bond to it. Thanks again for watching another episode of This Gun Has a Story. Come back and see us.